Let's be honest, our lives may not be perfect. Well, in fact, they are definitely not perfect. We all have our own experiences in life and different stories to tell. But despite our various struggles, we are blessed beyond what we can imagine. And the blessing I want to focus on today is safety. Safety, security, call it what you want, stands for the state of being free from danger or threat. It also happens to be a huge blessing which we rarely or never even considered. Yet sadly, people on the other side of the world who lack this blessing are suffering severely because of their identity. For example, there's a massive genocide happening in China right now against the Muslim ethnic group known as Uyghurs. They are being sterilized, brainwashed, raped, tortured, and killed. And the worst part is, few people acknowledge this situation due to the lack of attention regarding this topic globally. And to see how many students know about these concentration camps, I conducted a survey last December. It was sent to all students from MYP 1 up till DP2. I was glad to see that 57.6% of the students who answered my survey were aware of these camps. Yet the other 42.4% were unaware of them, which brings us back to the point concerning the lack of attention regarding this topic globally. But why do these camps exist? What goes on in them? And why is the world so silent towards this topic? These are the questions I had in mind before conducting my research, and are probably in your minds too. Hence, allow me, Nour, to inform you about the situation and its details. First of all, the situation dates back to 1949, when the People's Republic of China annexed Xinjiang, which 76% of its population were Uyghurs. This annexation was to colonize Muslim minorities, but people sought independence, resisted Beijing's rule, and refused to speak Mandarin. Now, we all know that Beijing did, and still does, consider any discontent regarding the Chinese Communist Party as a threat. This included the minorities' opposition to the situation. Fast forward to the 21st century, China's repeated attempts at rapid and forced assimilation, in addition to discriminatory and oppressive policies, have led to a series of violent protests across Xinjiang. And when these protests reached a peak in 2014, the Communist Party chief, Xi Jinping, increased the repression to turn ethnic Uyghurs into supporters of the party. Now, allow me to introduce you to two brave women who detailed the agony and abuse they experienced in the Chinese concentration camps. The first one is called Mahregul Tursun. She's a 29-year-old mother who was raised in China and studied English at a university in Egypt. She soon met her husband and had triplets with him. In 2015, Tursun returned back to China to spend time with her family and was immediately detained and separated from her infant children. When she was released 3 months later, one of the triplets died and the other two developed health problems. Tursun said that the children had been operated on. She was arrested for a second time 2 years later, and then for the third time, and had to spend 3 months in a cramped, suffocating cell with 60 other women. These women had to sleep in turn, sing songs which praised the Chinese Communist Party, in addition to using toilets in front of security cameras. Tursun said that she and the other inmates were forced to take unknown medications, including pills that made them faint, and a white liquid that caused bleeding in some women, and the loss of menstruation in others. 9 women from her cell died during her 3-month there. She also recalled that she was led into a room and placed in a high chair. Her arms and legs were locked in place. Every time I was electrocuted, the authorities put a helmet-like thing on my head, and every time I was electrocuted, My whole body would shake violently, she stated with a statement read by a translator. I don't remember the rest. White foam came out of my mouth and I began to lose consciousness. The last words I heard them saying is that you being a Uyghur is a crime. The second woman is called Jennifer Zheng. She was taken from her home while she was asleep and spent 1 year in the camp. Zheng stated, I suffered every day unimaginable different kinds of torture and cruelty. Every day I could hear screams from fellow prisoners. Some of them were tortured to death, some of them were tortured to insanity, and this is still going on now. Zheng also talked about the dreadful practice of organ harvesting, stating, we could be killed for our organs anytime if anyone outside China or inside China needed an organ. We were subjected to lab tests and physical checkups number of times so that they could extract our blood type and tissue data. That's how the Chinese hospitals can promise you they can find an organ match within days. They do reverse matches. If they find that match, they kill that person on demand, so they can sell your organs. One person's organs can be sold for $500,000. And note that not only adults are suffering from the situation, but children are also being affected. China is intentionally separating Muslim children from their families and is sending them to boarding schools. In fact, nearly 500,000 children have been torn away from their families and sent to these schools, according to a published document on the government website. The Communist Party argues that these schools are a way to fight poverty, when they're in fact designed to brainwash children at an early age away from any family influence. China denies operating concentration camps. In fact, China's UK ambassador, Liao Xiaoming, denied the abuse against Uyghurs when confronted with a drone footage showing hundreds of blindfolded men, with shaved heads being led into a train in which was believed to be the transfer of prisoners in Xinjiang. Xiaoming also added that Uyghurs experience a peaceful and harmonious life along with other ethnic groups, and said that the statistics conveying the drop on the population growth of Uyghurs by 84% were incorrect, but claimed that their population has doubled over the past 40 years. And when he was played an interview with a woman who said that she was subjected to forced sterilization, among other Uyghur females, Xiaoming blamed it on some group of anti-China elements. However, China's claim has been contradicted by the huge evidence that's served online, in addition to the increasing eyewitnesses saying that they have seen a lot of former detainees fleeing to Turkey and Kazakhstan. Keep in mind that China is not the only case of human torture. We also have wars, massacres, racism, and a lot of other things going on right now. So if I were to talk about all these brutal acts happening, I would definitely need more than 10 minutes on stage. And someone might ask, why am I only focusing on the negative side of our world? We do have a lot of good things going on too. Well, I'm not saying that our world is completely bad. I'm just saying that part of it is. I'm standing here in front of you guys because each one of you, including me, can contribute in making this world a better place. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. Take me, for example. Standing in front of an audience and talking on stage is not as easy as it might seem. And when I first thought about giving a speech, I had a completely different idea in mind. But I took this chance to talk about something vital and serious because I felt that it's the best way to deliver my message. And you don't have to start off with big steps. Any small act counts, such as smiling at a stranger, or holding the elevator door for someone, maybe even giving up your seat on the train. All these acts will have a great impact on our world in the long run, but most importantly, they might have a great impact on you and might help you in perceiving our world in a completely different manner. Who knows? So try, because the future of our world depends on us. Thank you.